Our culture is plagued by the desire for more stuff, thinking that the good life is found by having more and more and more. This can feel so overwhelming. It seems there is no escape from the rat race, and the rat always wins. But focusing on living simply can help free us from this accumulation of stuff. Now, you may be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually live simply? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Bible gives us some great advice on simple living, and it starts with contentment. You see, being content goes hand in hand with simple living. And the first thing we need to know about contentment is that it is learned. Philippians 4 tells us, "I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." So, how do we learn contentment? How do we learn this secret that Paul talks about? Well, that's the second thing. And 1 Thessalonians 5 gives us some great insight on how. This is Paul's message and final instructions to the suffering and discouraged church of Thessalonica. Rejoice always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. We should choose joy, knowing that the Lord is in control of any and every situation. We should pray continually, focusing our minds on God and His provision. Whatever we focus our minds on will impact our actions and attitude. And we should give thanks in all circumstances, no matter what, as an acknowledgement of God's lordship over our lives. God has blessed us more than we realize, and what we appreciate, appreciates. And lastly, contentment helps us build wealth. Wait, what? Build wealth? Yes, that's right, build wealth. 1 Timothy 6:6 tells us, "Godliness with contentment is great gain." And with contentment, we have the opportunity to build two kinds of wealth. The first is spiritual wealth, because contentment allows us to remain focused on the Lord and ignore the materialism of the world. That's great gain number one. The second is actual material wealth. In other words, more money. Because we are content, we will naturally decrease our spending on stuff, and we'll have more to spend on the things that are important to the Lord. And that is great gain number two. So what are you waiting for? Jump on the contentment train, for it's a must to keeping you on track during your financial discipleship journey.